Good morning, everyone. This is Gary Kay, and you're joining me for a special quad view videocast today. We are heading to the E4, the last 2019 stop of the E4 experience, which is Almo Pro AV's giant, awesome exhibit, education, experience, and also networking opportunity. And it's coming back to Atlanta for the first time in about 5 or 6 years. So if you're in the Atlanta area or you're a 4 or 5 hour drive from Atlanta, you should consider coming. It's next week on the 15th on Tuesday. So you have a few days to sign up. It's free. They'll feed you breakfast. They'll feed you lunch. And you're going to get to see some really cool stuff. And you can earn up to 12 CTS credits in one place. But today we're going to talk about Sharp. And I have Almo's distribution manager for Sharp, David Lakoff, with me. Hey, David, how are you?
Good, Gary. How are you?
Good, good. It's sort of like watching an episode of the Brady Bunch to me. Cliff Quiroga, is it Quiroga? Did I do okay? Quiroga handles the 8K products, which are, they're the future of our entire industry, as everyone knows. And then Maren Corrigan handles the Windows collaboration display. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, Gary. Thanks for having us.
I know that Cliff, there's the 8K is a new product. It is blowing people away with the quality. It's like looking, as I described it, it's like looking out a window. The content, there's not a lot of content for it yet, but the content you are showing on it is mind-boggling. And although it won't be at the E4 in Atlanta, blew people away a couple of weeks ago when we were up in New York City. Talk about that for a second.
Sure, right. Yeah, so typically when we talk about 8K, we're talking about 8K displays, like ones that you did see in New Jersey, and that are on the market from several manufacturers, including Sharp. But we take slightly different tack. We offer the 8K displays, but we also have 8K capture devices that you saw. We have two products. A broadcast device and a smaller compact portable 8K camera as well.
Yeah, and you had it hooked up live in New York, where you're actually able to see people in the show floor and in the hallway, and it was just amazing. And I think what you're showing there is there's no latency, the video quality is great, and the colorimetry is amazing. I mean, as we went to 4K, that was one thing I noticed, was the colorimetry and the ability to capture so much more color. Was pretty amazing. So that gives you a perception of higher resolution. But when you go to 8K, it's even higher. And David, what was your impression of it when we were up in New York?
I thought it was phenomenal. I mean, I've seen the display and the content before, and it's always been like pre-recorded content that's been perfected. This was like on the fly streaming video from the show floor, and just like you said, the quality and the detail and the ability to zoom in and really capture that finite detail. I see ridiculous applications in the recording space and things like that, sporting events and such. So it was exciting for me. And I'm newer to Sharp and the AV industry. So to see that kind of technology from our company was phenomenal. So good stuff.
So Cliff, when will it become sort of a normal thing to see 8K everywhere? Because that's the big question. Because we just finally got okay with 4K.
Right.
But now we have 8K coming. Obviously, it's going to be sort of a slower development than 4K probably was, because of the applications are much more unique than I think that we have with 4K. What's your take on it, and certainly what's
Right.
Sharp's position?
Right. As you mentioned, there are certain key factors that are critical for 8K really to take off. And so we talked about the display side. We have the capture side. You saw at the show, we have a production video studio style camera that we're using there. That's fairly high end and good for movies and studio production. But you also saw at the show, and I have one right here, a smaller 8K camera. This is compact, small, and produces beautiful 8K quality, which you saw at under $4,000. This will be coming out later next year. And we think products like this are really going to help the market take off. The second part is, transport and distribution of the product. If you're not aware, YouTube already supports 8K video. So when these smaller, low-priced products start to hit the market, there is already a place to post those videos. And then as people have access to displays with 8K capability, we're going to see a greater uptick in the distribution.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. One of the hot products at Infocom that everyone was talking about, and certainly was on my top 10, was the Windows collaboration displays. And Sharp was one of only 2 companies that had the product at Infocom. Marion, I know you want to get out to the beach. I see the window behind you. But I know we want to talk about that because that will be at the E4 next week in Atlanta. And of course, you can see all these products at almoproav.com. But Marion, talk about the Windows collaboration. Tell me what's different about that for those that don't know than the typical collaboration board or even the Aqueous board that came before it.
Well, for this one, I mean, we've done interactive displays for a really long time. This one is different in that it's got an embedded video camera, far field mic, speakers. So it's an all-in-one collaboration device. It sort of adopts to Sharp's concept of open platform. So it's not specified. I mean, it is a Windows collaboration display, but it's built around a BYOD concept. So you can plug in with different operating systems, which makes it great. The third element that I think is sort of the game changer is it's got an IoT sensor hub on it. So it's allowing you to get telemetry of the actual meeting space and how people are using it, which I think for the AV world, we've never really had the insights once it's installed, really how people are using that device. So it really gives us new insights and abilities to build service platforms and new software capabilities around that too. So that's the part that I think is super exciting.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I did a video cast yesterday with a company called Tier PM. I don't even know if you know who that company is, but they build literally all they do is an analytic software to connect to all these devices. And they were talking about how the Windows collaboration displays are going to be a big part of that because there's so much information you can get from them. Whereas in the old days, like now, you have to actually have a sensor, or you have to have connectivity to every device in the room. And with the Windows collaboration display, you just have one connection. And so I think that's a unique advantage. And of course, the support that you're getting from Windows on this product is unprecedented from any other collaboration product, I understand as well. Is that right?
Right. So we've been working with them for a long time, and in many different categories. So this is sort of the pillar of our smart office strategy, which if you saw anything on social media, we just had a big event last week where we unveiled smart office, and a lot of it really with Microsoft at the center point of it. So this device is really optimized for the Teams environment, built on the Azure platform that can allow you to manipulate that data. But it will be a part of the Microsoft Azure IoT plug and play catalog. So if you wanted to take the data and put it into your own platform and combine it with other pieces of data, that's when things start to get really interesting. So Sharp's really gone above and beyond on the IoT aspect. We went above and beyond spec with Microsoft. We added an AI camera, which allows for things like people counting. We also added air quality sensors, which I think really is something of the future. We hear about all the forest fires in California today, unfortunately, where things like air quality are really important to our health. And I think there's going to be new government regulations around that. So we're really starting to think ahead in the future. And we've had sort of a seat at the table with Microsoft for some time now where we can start to see the future of technology within the office. So super exciting.
So what are the sizes that it's available in now?
Right now it's just 70-inch, and we're expecting to be in market in November, hopefully.
Okay. And will we see other sizes next year, or are you talking about that yet?
We're talking about it. We just had a call late last night with the factory, and it is on the table. I think the biggest thing is this is a Skype certified device. That part was the first and foremost, getting through that hurdle. Once we do get that, which is going to be within days, we will then look at expanding sizes. So obviously there's been a lot of demand for things like maybe a 90-inch. But the cool part about our display is it's a 70-inch, but it is projected capacitive. So you could line up 1x3 for a larger meeting space and really have a larger footprint, which is unique to Sharp in that space.
And Cliff, obviously the next logical question is when we see 8K collaboration boards, because the pixel density on that is amazing. And certainly it'll be like having a piece of paper in the front of the room that you can use just like a high resolution whiteboard beyond anything we've ever seen. So I'm sure it's on the table at some level.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. Probably a next generation type of an application. We got our hands full right now just building out the current ecosystem. But it's something we can look forward to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, are we sure we want to see all of our coworkers and customers in 8K? I'm not so sure.
Well, one thing that's good is we're all limited by the cameras, right? And the cameras
Fair
that
enough.
most of us are using on UCC are not that high resolution,
Right.
but they work. But they work for what we use them for, so that's good.
Absolutely.
And we're able to do stuff like this
For sure.
on the fly and ad hoc. It's just amazing. And speaking of which, Dave, one thing that we should mention is because we're on a Zoom call. Almo launched Zoom kits a couple of weeks ago, and Zoomtopia is next week. And Zoom has to be part of this discussion too, because obviously, even with the Windows collaboration display and the fact that you can do Skype on it, you also can do Zoom, and you can do any of the products, of soft codec products as well.
Absolutely.
So talk about your sort of relationship with Zoom and sort of how that fits into all this.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, we're, one of the things with Sharp is we're open source, right? We're willing to partner with anybody, and our devices work with Zoom products without a hitch, right? So
Yep.
I know Almo has those Zoom kits, and if we want to connect them with an Aquos board or even a Windows collaboration display, if that's where a customer wanted to go, it works seamlessly.
Yeah,
So,
from a data point side, I think we were at a conference last week, and it's like 62% of companies are using 3 or more platforms. And, with that stat, you have to be prepared to support all of them seamlessly. And we've always been centered around that.
yeah.
And I guess that's one advantage of having a Windows operating system at the heart of it, is that you can add things to the functionality as new features come out, because we don't know what we're going to be doing a year from now. Who'd have thought 3 years ago that we'd all be sort of standardized on these soft codec platforms so quickly. So so obviously you can see all these products that we talked about at almoprov.com. Of course, you can go to Sharp as well, and Sharp has a very complicated URL system beyond the sharp.com, but I know that in the professional world there, you can get directly to those 8K cameras, and you can get directly to the Sharp Windows collaboration displays. So tell me where I should tell everyone to start.
I'll let Dave start with that.
Oh, great. Thank you. Sharpusa.com is obviously the main landing spot. And they've simplified the web page, in my opinion. So on the top, you'll have, professional display. Obviously, we have an MFP side of the house as well. So you'll see that there. And then I believe the 8K and even the camera falls under the professional display link right at the top there. I think it might be /professional displays as well. If you go to the main site, but really it's one click and you're in. So nice and simple.
SharpUSA.com.
SharpUSA.com.
And I think that you're going to see a lot more from Sharp. I think it's important to go to SharpUSA.com because we are announcing a lot around the smart office where all of those IT products start to come together, where you're going to see or visualize where the office really, you've got the copier, you've got laptops, you've got displays, and we've got software that kind of pulls it all together with our Synapse platform that we just announced last week. So if you haven't been to our website in a while, it's a really good time to come check it out.
Yeah.
All right, cool. SharpUSA.com. And of course, for the Almo show, the E4, you can go to almoprov.com. You can go to e4experience.com if you want to sign up for the show in Atlanta in a few days. Thanks for joining me. Maren, Cliff, Dave, thank you very much. I appreciate you all being on today. Have a great weekend.
All right.
Thank you. You too. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And everyone, thanks for watching.